All right, example number 2, the total cost of printing Q dictionaries is given by this formula. So I print Q dictionary, I have to pay this cost. We need to find the average value of the total cost on this interval. So what we need to do is we need to find C bar, which is, again, according to our average formula, B minus A, and we do the integral from A to B, C of Q, dQ. Which is, now it's very simple here. It will be just 10 minus 0, integral from 0 to 10, and then we write the function itself, plus 2Q cubed, which is 1 over 10. Now, what is the integral of Q? It will be just 1/10,000 Q squared plus half Q power 4. And all what we need to do is we need to substitute 1 0 and 1 time with 10 to get the final answer. So that's all what we have to do here. And that will give me the average cost. Which would be $100,500. That's the average cost up here. Next example. Again, we have the cost of producing Q cans is given by this formula here. Find the average value of the total cost from Q equal 2 to Q equal 22. So again, I need to find the average value, which is equal B minus A, integral from AB f of x dx. Now, B is 22, A is 2, and we just need to find the integral from 2 to 22 for f of x q dq. So it would be 20 here. And now we just need to find the integral for this function. Well, the integral of 200 will be just 200q. The integral of q will be q squared over 2, so it will be 10q squared. And finally, it will be 0.222q cubed over 3. Now, all what you need to do is you need to substitute $22, and then you need to substitute 2 to get the final answers. Example number 4, we have the demand function, which is the price, okay, given to me by this formula here. And now we need to find the average value if the demand increases from 49 quantity to 99 quantity. Let me do this example a bit step by step. So we need to find the average price. And the formula to find the average price using the integral, it is integral from A to B, B minus A, which will be 99 minus 49. And then we have integral from 49 to 99, which is 500 plus q plus 1. And then we have 1000 at the top. We need to find this integral. So just let me copy paste this integral here to the next page and we continue. So it will be equal to, this one will be just 50. This integral, 49 to 99. 500, the integral of 500, it will be just 500q. Now, what is the integral of something u down and u prime here? Remember, this would be just the len. So it will be 1000 len absolute value of q plus 1. Now, all what you need to do is use your calculator to find for me what happened if we plug in 99 minus the number if we plug in 94, we subtract them and we get the final answer. That's how we do it for this question. Last question, which is question number 5, has multiple parts. We need to do them. And here is something a little bit different we have in this question. Well, what is different? Well, in the previous questions, we are asking you to find the average cost. But remember, we have a different formula for the average cost. It was C of Q divided by Q. Now, which one should I use? The one with the integral or the average cost formula? It all depends on the question. If you look at the part A, it says find the average cost of producing 1,000 blenders. So only I have Q equal 1,000, which is only one number. I don't have interval. I don't have from a number to another number. I just have one number, and that number is 1,000. That means I will use the usual formula for the cost. Question part B is the same as question part A, but here I have from to, which means I will use the integral here. So that's where we will use the integral in that question. So here we have to do first part A. So let me just do part A first. Remember, the difference is part A, I have only one number for Q. So for part A, you need to find the average, the usual average that we already seen before, which is, if we just plug in the numbers, it's 2,000 plus 400Q plus Q squared divided by Q. And remember, we need to substitute 1,000. That's what my concern is. That's the average that I'm looking for. So just write 1,000 here, 1,000 here, and see what the answer that you will get. We'll get a huge number in millions in the top. So it will be 1,402. And then you divide by 1,000, which is 1,402. Sorry, this is 1,000 here. So the third answer is part B. What is part B? We need to find what is C bar. C bar is integral from a to b f of x dx, which is, if we do it, it will be just 1,000 minus 0. And then we do the integral from 0 to 1,000. And now we write, sorry, not f of x, it should be just c of q. And that will be just 2,400Q plus Q squared. Okay. And now we just find the final answer. What is the final answer? It is 2,000Q plus, it will be Q squared, 200 plus 1/3 Q3. And finally, we just need to substitute 1,000, and then we substitute the 0. Now, if you substitute the 0, everything will be cancelled. So we only need to substitute 1000 and see what will be the answers here. It will be about 5,350.333, which if we do it divided by 1000, it will be just 535,333.33, which again, as an average, this is the average, which is, if we compare it with this one, it's much different number here that we get. Finally, part C, find the average value of the total cost from 1000 to 1001 and compare it to part A. So we have to do the same thing we just did, but this time we just do it with 1000 to 1001. So it is safe for me to take everything here, copy it for part C. Okay, for part C, remember this will be different here. So there is a little bit of a difference here we need to keep in mind, and we need to write it down. So this one, you need to do it with your calculator, just there's no other way. You just have to do it with your calculator. Of course, we already did the the 1000. Now all what we need to do is we just need to go ahead and do the 1001. Which will give us this one. And now if we subtract 535, of course this will also change, I'm sorry, this would be 1. The answer will be just 140. And that's the answer, which if we compare it to part A, almost the same, 1,402. This is 0.03, which is the same because I'm taking the average only between one interval.